Are you preparing for the PMP exam and trying to make sense of all the Agile frameworks? In this video, we'll walk through 6 major Agile frameworks that you need to know, including Scrum, Kanban, Extreme Programming, Feature-Driven Development, DSDM, and Agile Unified Process. We'll explain what each one is, how it works, and what makes it unique, especially in the context of the PMP exam. At the end of each framework, we will go over a practice question together to help reinforce the learning. If you just want to review the Agile framework without the question, you can use the timeline below to skip to the next framework. Make sure to watch until the end for a clear understanding of each framework, along with key concepts and exam function insights that can help you feel more confident on test day. Let's begin. 1. Scrum. Scrum is the most widely used Agile framework. It's built around short, time-box iterations called sprints, usually lasting between 2 to 4 weeks. At the end of each sprint, the team delivers a working increment of the product. Key roles in Scrum include: product owner owns the product backlog and is responsible for maximizing the value of the product. They prioritize work items based on business value and customer needs. Scrum Master is a servant leader who ensures the team understands and applies Scrum principles. They remove impediments and foster team collaboration. Development team is self-organizing and cross-functional. They select and commit to the work for the sprint and build the deliverables. Key artifacts in Scrum include product backlog. This is a prioritized list of all the work needed to improve the product. It's dynamic and evolves as the product and business needs change. It is owned and maintained by the product owner. Items may include features, bugs, technical tasks, or research. The product backlog is ordered by priority with high-value items at the top. It's never considered complete. It's a living document. Sprint backlog. This is a subset of the product backlog that the team commits to completing during a sprint. It is owned by the development team. It includes selected backlog items and a plan for delivering them. It's flexible during the sprint in terms of how the work is done, but the scope generally stays stable. Increment. This is the sum of all completed product backlog items during a sprint and includes the work from all previous sprints. It must meet the team's definition of done, which is a shared understanding of what it means for work to be complete. The product owner reviews the increment during the sprint review to determine if it's ready to release. Scrum also includes events such as sprint planning. The team discusses what can be delivered and how it will be achieved. Daily Scrum is a short daily meeting of 15 minutes to sync up and plan the next 24 hours. Sprint review is held at the end of the sprint to inspect the increment and adapt the product backlog. Sprint retrospective typically occurs after the sprint review when the team reflects on the sprint and identifies improvements for the next one. For the PMP exam, expect questions about who owns which artifacts, how the team commits to the work, and how value is delivered through short, iterative cycles. Also, know how Scrum supports self-organization, frequent feedback, and transparency. Let's look at a Scrum question together. A company is developing a new mobile application using Scrum. During sprint planning, the team selects several product backlog items, but midway through the sprint, a few team members express concerns that some selected items may not be completed by the end of the sprint. The product owner insists that all selected items must be completed since they were agreed upon during sprint planning. The Scrum Master observes rising tension and reminds the team of Scrum values. As the project manager, what is the most appropriate response to ensure alignment with Scrum principles and support value delivery? A. Remind the team that the sprint commitment means all selected items must be delivered, regardless of unforeseen challenges. B. Coach the product owner that the team owns the sprint backlog and that scope adjustments may occur as they self-organize around their sprint goal. C. Advise the team to raise a change request to formally reduce the sprint scope. D. Support the product owner in holding the team accountable for delivering all the selected backlog items to maintain transparency and trust. You can pause the video here if you need more time. All right, let's walk through this together. The correct choice is B. In Scrum, the development team owns the sprint backlog and is empowered to self-organize to meet the sprint goal, While the team commits to the goal during sprint planning, they do not commit to every selected product backlog item. Scrum supports adaptation, transparency, and frequent inspection, which means teams can adjust within the sprint if necessary. The product owner owns the product backlog, but the sprint backlog belongs to the team. Coaching the product owner on these role boundaries reinforces collaboration and agility. Choice A is incorrect. Sprint planning leads to a commitment to a sprint goal, not a guarantee that all backlog items will be completed. Scrum recognizes that work may evolve, and delivery of value is prioritized over rigid scope adherence. Choice C is incorrect. Scrum does not involve formal change requests for adjusting the sprint scope. The team inspects and adapts their work through the daily Scrum and other ceremonies, enabling flexibility without bureaucratic overhead. Choice D is incorrect. Holding the team strictly accountable for all items selected in sprint planning overlooks Scrum's empirical nature. It may also harm psychological safety and discourage transparency, especially when unforeseen issues arise. Okay, let's move on if you are ready. 2. Kanban. Kanban focuses on visualizing workflow and limiting work in progress to improve efficiency. Unlike Scrum, Kanban does not use sprints. Work flows continuously through stages defined on a Kanban board, such as to do, in progress, and done. Core concepts include: work in progress limits controls how many tasks are in progress at once to avoid overload. Pull-based system. The team members pull work based on capacity rather than being assigned tasks. The lead time is the total time from request to delivery. Cycle time is the time taken from the start of the work to completion. Throughput is the number of items completed in a time frame. Kanban is great for environments with ongoing tasks like operations or service teams. For the PMP exam, you may see Kanban in scenarios involving flow-based work, visual management, or continuous delivery. Be prepared to identify and explain how metrics like lead time and work in progress limits are used to improve efficiency. Let's look at a Kanban question together. Your organization is using a Kanban system to manage support tickets for its software platform. Recently, stakeholders have raised concerns that requests are taking too long to complete. Upon reviewing the Kanban board, you notice several tickets sitting in the In Progress column for extended periods. The team explains they are multitasking across multiple work items to keep everyone busy. As the project manager, what is the best action to improve flow efficiency and reduce delivery times? A. Encourage the team to prioritize higher value tickets and focus on completing those first. B. Increase the number of items in progress to reduce idle time and fully utilize team capacity. C. Implement work-in-progress limits and review lead time trends to identify and remove bottlenecks. D. Restructure the team to assign individuals to specific types of tickets to streamline responsibility. You can pause the video here if you need more time. All right, let's walk through this together. The correct choice is C. In Kanban, work-in-progress limits are a core practice used to prevent overloading the system, encourage focus, and improve flow efficiency. By setting work-in-progress limits, the team will be forced to finish current work before starting new items, helping reduce lead time and deliver value more quickly. Monitoring lead time trends allows for identifying bottlenecks and making data-driven improvements, which directly addresses the stakeholder concern. Choice A is incorrect. While prioritization is important, it doesn't directly address the root cause of delayed flow. If multitasking continues, work will still be slow, even for high-priority tickets. Without limiting work in progress, focusing on priority won't fix the inefficiency. Choice B is incorrect. This approach worsens the problem. Increasing work in progress leads to context switching, longer queues, and reduced team focus, ultimately increasing lead time and reducing throughput, which is the opposite of Kanban's intent. Choice D is incorrect. Reassigning roles may provide short-term clarity, but does not solve the systemic issue of too much work in progress. Kanban emphasizes team-wide ownership of flow, not rigid role assignments, and the real opportunity for improvement lies in controlling work in progress and monitoring flow metrics. Okay, let's move on if you're ready. 3. Extreme programming. Extreme Programming, XP, is a software-centric Agile framework that emphasizes technical excellence, rapid feedback, and customer involvement. PXP practices include: pair programming is when two developers work together on the same code, improving quality and knowledge sharing. Test-driven development, TDD, means write tests first, then build just enough code to pass the test. Continuous integration. The developers integrate code frequently to catch defects early. Refactoring improves code structure without changing behavior. Lastly, XP emphasizes simple design and small releases. XP also encourages on-site customer presence and working at a sustainable pace to avoid burnout. For the PMP exam, questions may focus on Agile quality practices, fast feedback cycles, or how to improve team collaboration and technical outcomes. XP is often the correct context when the scenario emphasizes software engineering practices. Let's look at an extreme programming question together. A software development team using extreme programming is experiencing issues with defects being discovered late in the iteration. The team currently runs tests at the end of the development cycle, and individual developers write and commit code independently. The project manager wants to improve code quality, feedback speed, and collaboration. What is the best recommendation to align the team with XP practices and improve outcomes? A. Introduce formal design reviews and require sign-off before coding starts. B. Encourage the use of pair programming and test-driven development as standard practices. C. Extend iteration length to allow for more time to test before release. D. Assign a dedicated QA team to thoroughly test completed work at the end of each iteration. You can pause the video here if you need more time. All right, let's walk through this together. The correct choice is B. In extreme programming, key practices like pair programming and test-driven development are designed to improve code quality, reduce defects, and deliver fast feedback. Pair programming enhances collaboration and knowledge sharing, while test-driven development ensures that code is written with testing in mind from the beginning, reducing late-cycle bugs and promoting cleaner design. Choice A is incorrect. While formal reviews may be useful in traditional environments, XP favors lightweight, continuous collaboration over formal sign-offs. This choice slows down feedback and doesn't support XP's iterative, adaptive approach to quality. Choice C is incorrect. Extending the iteration length contradicts the XP principle of rapid feedback cycles. XP values short, consistent iterations to detect issues early and adapt quickly. More time to test at the end doesn't prevent defects introduced early in the process. Choice D is incorrect. XP promotes continuous testing and shared ownership of quality, not handoffs to QA at the end. A dedicated QA team working after development violates XP's emphasis on collaboration, automation, and built-in quality. Okay, let's move on if you are ready. 4. Feature-driven development. Feature-driven development, FDD, is a model-driven, short iteration process designed for larger teams and structured environments. FDD process includes: 1. Develop the overall model. 2. Build a feature list. 3. Plan by feature. 4. Design by feature. 5. Build by feature. Each feature is a small, client-valued function deliverable within 2 weeks or less. FDD introduces specific roles such as chief programmer, class owners, and domain experts. It blends Agile values with structured practices to maintain control and clarity across large-scale development effort. For the PMP exam, be familiar with FDD's emphasis on domain modeling, clear role separation, and its use in larger, more hierarchical teams. It's often a match for questions involving scalability or structured Agile planning. Let's look at a feature-driven development question together. A large organization is developing a complex financial platform using Agile methods. The team has adopted feature-driven development to better handle the size and structure of the project. During a planning session, several developers expressed confusion about who is responsible for breaking down features into smaller tasks and how modeling should fit into their workflow. The project manager wants to reinforce proper process alignment with FDD principles. What is the most appropriate action to support the team and ensure clarity of roles and planning structure? A. Assign the Scrum Master to manage modeling activities and delegate feature breakdown to the team collectively. B. Remind the team that the chief programmer is responsible for feature breakdown and coordinating development tasks. C. Instruct business analysts to complete the modeling up front before development starts to avoid confusion. D. Have all developers participate equally in modeling and feature decomposition to encourage shared ownership. You can pause the video here if you need more time. All right, let's walk through this together. The correct choice is B. In feature-driven development, there is clear role separation. The chief programmer plays a central role by coordinating the design and planning of features, including breaking down features into smaller development tasks. This structure helps support scalability and clarity of responsibilities in large, hierarchical teams. Domain modeling is also a key initial activity in FDD, often facilitated by domain and technical experts. Choice A is incorrect. The Scrum Master role is not part of the FDD framework. Assigning modeling or planning duties to a Scrum Master introduces confusion. Choice C is incorrect. FDD emphasizes collaborative modeling and incremental planning, not big upfront modeling. Having business analysts do all modeling upfront violates the iterative, feature-driven approach and reduces developer engagement. Choice D is incorrect. While collaboration is important, FDD relies on specific roles and responsibilities to manage complexity at scale. Having all developers equally manage modeling and decomposition may result in inconsistency and a lack of structure, which FDD is designed to address. Okay, let's move on if you are ready. 5. Dynamic Systems Development Method. Dynamic Systems Development Method, DSDM, offers a controlled, agile approach suitable for organizations needing strong governance. It uniquely fixes time and cost, allowing scope to flex within those constraints. Key practices include: Moscow prioritization is a technique used to categorize requirements into 4 levels of importance: must have, should have, could have, and won't have this time. Time boxing is a practice where work is delivered within fixed duration iterations. Active user involvement ensures continuous alignment. Integrated testing is embedded from the start. DSDM is ideal for regulated or contract-heavy environments that still want to benefit from Agile. For the PMP exam, look for questions about balancing Agile with governance, prioritizing features effectively, or working under fixed time and budget constraints. Let's look at a DSDM question together. A government agency is building a compliance reporting system under a fixed deadline and budget. The team is using Dynamic Systems Development Method to balance Agile delivery with organizational governance requirements. Partway through development, a stakeholder requests additional features they consider valuable. The team is concerned about maintaining the timeline and budget. As the project manager, what is the most appropriate response based on DSDM principles? A. Add the requested features and extend the timeline to ensure stakeholder satisfaction. B. Advise the team to reprioritize all features and remove any that are less critical to accommodate the new request. C. Confirm whether the new features are within the could-have category and reinforce that time and cost are fixed in DSDM. D. Inform the stakeholder that no changes can be made once development has started due to the fixed scope. You can pause the video here if you need more time. All right, let's walk through this together. The correct choice is C. DSDM operates under the principle of fixed time, cost, and quality, while flexibility comes from adjusting the scope. Features are prioritized using the Moscow soft method, must have, should have, could have, won't have. When stakeholders request new functionality, the team must assess whether the request falls into a could have or won't have category, allowing delivery to continue without jeopardizing commitments. This approach balances agility with governance in high-stakes environments. Choice A is incorrect. Extending the timeline violates the core DSDM principle that time and cost are fixed. Satisfying the stakeholder by changing these constraints undermines predictability and governance control. Choice B is incorrect. While reprioritizing is allowed, removing existing features without a formal review and alignment with Moscow priorities risks omitting must-have items. The correct DSDM approach is to assess new requests against existing priorities, not overhaul the backlog without structured analysis. Choice D is incorrect. DSDM does allow change, but manages it through structured prioritization. Saying no to all changes contradicts DSDM's agile and adaptive nature. The key is to manage scope dynamically while keeping time and cost fixed. Okay, let's move on if you are ready. 6. Agile Unified Process. Agile Unified Process, or AgileUP, adapts the rational unified process to be agile-friendly. It keeps a structured life cycle but applies agile principles throughout. Phases of AgileUP include: 1. Inception involves defining business case, scope, and feasibility. 2. Elaboration involves identifying architecture and risks. 3. Construction involves developing the product incrementally. 4. Transition involves deploying the product and supporting it post-release. AgileUP allows for modeling and documentation, but in a lightweight approach, keeping agile values intact. For the PMP exam, AgileUP may appear in questions about hybrid project environments, phase-based delivery, or balancing structure with adaptability. Let's look at an AgileUP question together. Your organization is delivering a large-scale enterprise solution using a hybrid agile approach based on Agile Unified Process. While working through the construction phase, one of the executive sponsors expresses concern about the lack of traditional documentation and questions how quality and governance are being ensured. The team is following agile practices but also needs to maintain compliance with organizational standards. As the project manager, what is the best response to address the sponsor's concerns while remaining aligned with AgileUP principles? A. Explain that agile projects do not emphasize documentation and offer to demonstrate working software instead. B. Highlight that AgileUP includes structured phases and promotes just enough documentation to support governance and traceability. C. Assure the sponsor that documentation will be created at the end of the project during the transition phase. D. Offer to switch the project to a fully traditional model to ensure alignment with stakeholder expectations. You can pause the video here if you need more time. All right, let's walk through this together. The correct choice is B. AgileUP is a hybrid agile framework that combines the structure of the unified process with distinct phases like inception, elaboration, construction, and transition, with agile values like adaptability and iterative delivery. It supports just enough documentation which satisfies compliance and governance without compromising agility. This makes it ideal for environments that need both structure and flexibility. Choice A is incorrect. While agile values working software over documentation, completely dismissing documentation, especially in a regulated or enterprise environment, is inappropriate. Choice C is incorrect. Deferring documentation until the end of the project ignores agile principles of early and continuous feedback and puts governance at risk. AgileUP encourages documentation throughout the process, tailored to actual needs. Choice D is incorrect. Switching to a traditional model undermines the benefits of AgileUP, which was specifically chosen to balance structure and agility. Changing methodologies midstream can lead to confusion, disruption, and reduce stakeholder confidence. Before we wrap up, let's quickly review what we covered. Scrum uses sprint-based delivery with defined roles and key artifacts like product backlog, sprint backlog, and increment. Kanban uses visual workflow management with continuous delivery and work-in-progress limits. Extreme programming emphasizes software engineering excellence through practices such as test-driven development and continuous integration. Feature-driven development is a feature-focused framework suited for larger, more structured teams. Dynamic systems development method combines agile flexibility with project governance and time boxing. AgileUP is a structured, phase-based agile approach designed for hybrid environments that blend predictive and adaptive practices. Each of these frameworks has its place. Your ability to recognize their differences and apply them to project scenarios is a valuable asset, especially on the PMP exam. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. It helps support the channel and lets us know what content you want more of. Let us know in the comment below if you want a similar video for the Scaled Agile Frameworks. And if you're preparing for the PMP exam, don't forget to subscribe for more exam-focused videos and visit our website at pmaspirant.com for additional project management resources. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.